Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace a crankshaft sensor. If you want to know how they're constructed and how they work, check out my other video where I show you this. This is useful information to know and it will help you to diagnose faults in the future. The symptoms of a faulty crankshaft sensor include the vehicle won't start, it lacks power, perhaps the engine speed is hunting, and sometimes the engine will even cut out when you're driving, which is obviously quite dangerous. The fault code for a faulty crankshaft sensor is P0335. If you want to make sure that your crankshaft sensor is faulty before replacing it, check the description of the video where there's a link to a good value code scanner. Once you've established that your crank sensor is faulty, you need to buy a new one. Again, you'll find a link in the description of the video to some websites where you can buy good parts at good prices. Now let's get on with the job. Step one is to disconnect the battery and to gain access to the crankshaft sensor, which is normally around the bottom of the engine. Sometimes you can access this from above. You won't be able to see much, but you can save time by doing the job from above. And other times you have to jack the vehicle up, support it with stands, and get underneath to get good access to the component. Disconnect the negative terminal from the battery. Put it somewhere safe where it's not going to touch against the terminal again. This ensures the safety of both yourself and the vehicle's electronics. You need to locate your crankshaft sensor. Google is your friend here and you can find the position very easily online. Otherwise, have a good look around the bottom of the engine. On most modern cars, the crankshaft sensor sits between the engine and the transmission and it uses the flywheel as its reluctor. Another component that can give fault symptoms almost identical to the crankshaft sensor is the camshaft sensor. The sensors are virtually identical, but they're located in different parts of the engine. The camshaft sensor is up towards the top of the engine, and on this vehicle, it's located here. Because they're easier to get to, camshaft sensors are generally much easier to change than crankshaft sensors. On this vehicle, the crankshaft position sensor is located just above the flexible coupling on the exhaust. So there we are, just below the starter motor as the crankshaft position sensor. So you simply remove the retaining bolt and withdraw the sensor from its housing. With a short extension, you can see on this vehicle there is access onto the retaining bolt without removing the starter motor cable. Once the retaining bolt is loose, you may find it easier to remove it with your fingers rather than trying to continue to use the extension. Remove the retaining bolt, and now you can remove the sensor from the engine. Like so. It has an O-ring, and the new part that you buy also comes with a new O-ring. Now we need to access the electrical connector and disconnect it. This may be on the sensor itself, or as in this case there's a short lead and the connector is on the end. And remove the sensor. At the top of the screen you can see the defective sensor that's been removed, and at the bottom you can see the new sensor. Before fitting the sensor, get some nice clean engine oil and make sure you give a good soak to the sensor itself and also to the O-ring. This will make it easier to get into the car, and it will also give a good seal on the O-ring. Refitting the sensor is the reverse of the removal. The electrical connector is refitted. Now just fitting the retaining bolt to the sensor, which is in position in the engine. Tighten up the retaining bolt. On this vehicle is to be tightened to 8 Newton meters. So no need to exaggerate here. Okay, that's that. Reconnect the negative terminal on the battery. And then comes the moment of truth. And now do the victory dance, because you've just saved yourself a few £100. Thanks for watching guys. If you want more of these videos, please encourage me by subscribing to the channel. See you next time, and in the meantime, enjoy life.